The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining in on today's webinar on how you can help us save and transform lives. We really believe that making a difference starts with our amazing community. Over the past 40 years, we have had the pleasure to get to know a lot of our community and the people who we have helped. So again, thank you all for joining us today. Today's presenters is Evan Farrar, who is part of our family support team. He is our crisis intervention and family support counselor. We have Carolyn Loker, who is part of our medical support team, who is our medical liaison. We have Bonnie Shelley, who's also part of our medical support team, who is a coordinator of medical affairs. We have Lori Moline, who is our new parent support staff member, which is the new parent support specialist. We have Diane Seeley, our new parent support coordinator. We also have with us Leanne, who's part of our development and fundraising staff. She's our development staff. And we have myself, Donnie Moore, who's on the development team, and I am the development and communication specialist.
All right, so we'll sort it out today.
We encourage all of you to participate throughout the webinar. Feel free to submit questions you have for us to answer during the Q&A at the end of the presentation. If you have specific questions regarding your child or loved one, please contact us at 1-800-926-4797. Our office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
We will answer your questions regarding eWalk or On the Move. Any other questions, please contact us at the number above. We will do our best to answer all of your questions, but if we do not get to your questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Leanne at the email addresses shown in the slide. Today we're going to be talking about the services and programs that PWSA USA offers to our community and go over how you can help transform lives affected by Prader Willi syndrome by doing an eWalk or On the Move event. PWSA USA offers the most comprehensive and robust family support services in the rare genetic disease community. We'll be going over the following topics such as crisis intervention and family support, medical support, new parent support and mentoring, why eWalk or On the Move, what is On the Move, what is eWalk, how we are going to be here for you every step of the way, and there's going to be a brief Q&A at the end. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce Evan, who is going to be going over crisis and family support.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not sure you heard my beginning there, but it's great to have this opportunity to talk with you this afternoon. I'm going to talk just a little bit about crisis and family support, which is one of the key support programs that PWSA has. First, just kind of a little bit of an overview. I'm one of the family support counselors. My colleague, who is another family support counselor, is Kate Beaver. We both handle non-medical family support issues. So if you call our office between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, one of us is on duty, and so we'll respond to any questions you might have or any support needs that you have. I've listed just a couple things that we deal with a lot. Of course, school issues is a big one. Sometimes behavioral issues, offering parents as well as professional strategies on how to manage behavior. Residential issues, if a person with Prader Willi needs placement, we can help with that process by helping with training for residential programs and answering questions parents might have about that process, and also connecting them with folks in the Prader Willi community and programs that might be appropriate for their loved one. And then we also deal with some legal issues. If a person with Prader Willi gets involved in with law enforcement, we can help with providing information both for the police as well as if it does involve any kind of criminal proceeding, information about Prader Willi syndrome for a prosecutor, for judge, or anybody else involved in the court system. We also handle a number of different types of cases as well, and so we always encourage people to call if they have a need or a question, to call us with that. If we don't know the answer immediately, we'll work very hard to try to find an answer. One of the list of services that we provide include support letters on a variety of different topics that can be useful to parents trying to get services or dealing with a situation that just needs our input and a statement from us. We, of course, provide crisis intervention, and crisis is defined in a lot of different ways, but most importantly, it's defined by a family who might be in crisis about a particular issue. And so we encourage anybody in crisis to contact us and see how we can help and what support we can provide in those difficult situations. We also provide a lot of information and strategies on lots of different topics. And then one of our key missions, of course, is special education advocacy. We believe PWSA has a unique role in helping schools and parents work effectively together to provide an appropriate environment for their child with Prader Willi. We work to serve to help make that as much as possible a collaborative and effective relationship, and we do our best to provide helpful information to both parents as well as school professionals about how best to serve a student with Prader Willi syndrome. So we have lots of resources on school issues, but what I want to focus on today are just three really exciting initiatives that help us with special education issues in the Prader Willi community. So the first is, some of you may recall that back in 2013 we had our first training for parents to help equip parents with special education advocacy issues and help equip parents to really have some more tools and strategies for how to be effective advocates. The new version of that training is going to be significantly different than the first in terms of how it's delivered. So the new version of this training, which is named after David Wyatt, who was my predecessor and the first of our family support and crisis counselors in the history of Prader Willi, the Wyatt Special Education Training now will be offered fully online starting in 2016. There will be basically 3 modules that will be covered. This is the same information we covered in our in-person training in 2013. We'll provide an overview of IDEA and other related special education laws and statutes. The second module will cover effective advocacy, and the third module will cover strategies for specific Prader Willi issues in school, for example, like food security. The live training for this process will take place in June, July, and August of this year. However, once those trainings are done, those recordings will be kept online, and so will be available 24/7 for anybody to take any of those modules of training anytime that they want to. So we're very excited about that ongoing possibility for people to access that training. The other nice thing about this feature is that parents and guardians can take the training as a series, so take it 1, 2, and 3 modules, or they could decide they just want to take 1 module, and that gives more flexibility for parents and guardians to choose what's helpful for them. Presenters will be all school experts in the Prader Willi community, and there will be additional free resources provided to anyone who completes at least 1 module of the training. So we think it's a pretty robust and exciting plan. One of the most important features of this training is it is provided free of charge to the entire PWS community. This is a commitment that David Wyatt believed in. It's a commitment we believe in, that this information is so important to get out to schools and parents that we don't ever want costs to stand in the way of that. So the training is completely free, and we hope that as many of you as possible who have school-age children will participate in that training through taking 1 or all 3 modules. And you'll be hearing a lot more details as we unroll registration and more information about the training going forward. Next, Donnie. So the other 2 items I want to talk about, one is our regular e-letter called School Times that is the only publication that's all about school issues related to Prader-Willi syndrome. One key feature of this publication is that it is both for parents as well as teachers and other school professionals. So we encourage parents to sign up, and we also encourage school professionals who work with those parents to sign up. The new expanded version and rebranded version of School Times just came out in March. And so it includes some more features like some videos, some more upgraded information for school professionals and resources. So if you are not signed up for School Times and you have a school-aged child, you see my email address on the screen. All you have to do is simply email me and say, I'd like to sign up for School Times. We can also send you the current issue that just came out. We definitely encourage you to sign up. We definitely encourage you to ask anybody connected with your child at school to sign up for this e-letter as well, because it will have very helpful information going forward. The other item that I want to talk with you about is really exciting breaking news. In March, we launched the first ever groundbreaking new survey to capture the school experience of students with Prader-Willi across the country. Up until this point, we've just had some ideas based on what parents tell us about challenges and issues in school settings, but we've never had a comprehensive set of data to help us know what are the real challenges out there and what are the areas where students with Prader-Willi are doing well. This survey also really tries to capture the parent experience working with schools, working with IEP teams. It will ask questions about what parents would hope for if they could change things. So I cannot stress enough how exciting this survey is. It is a first comprehensive look at these issues in our community. And so we really want to encourage you, if you are a parent, and this is key, whether your child is still in school or your child graduated long ago, we want all of that experience included in this survey. We think it's going to be very, very useful for parents to learn what's going on, and we'll share that information, but equally useful for us as we design resources and develop our training to know what are the areas we really need to focus on. So please encourage people to sign up for this. Please complete the survey yourself. You will receive a link to the survey in a follow-up email from this webinar. If you have any questions about that process, please feel free to email me also at the address on this slide. So thank you very much. I'm excited about what we're doing. I hope you are too. And if you have any questions or need follow-up information, please let us know. Thank you. I'm going to next introduce my colleague Bonnie, who's going to talk with us a little bit about medical support issues.
Thank you, Evan. I appreciate that. And many thanks to each of you for being with us today. I can honestly say that we have an incredibly dedicated family support team. You just heard from Evan, who is a phenomenal crisis intervention counselor, as is Kate Beaver. They never fail on what they do. You'll hear later from Lori and Diane, and my colleague Carolyn Loker you will hear from after me, her husband Dr. Jim Loker. Both of those folks have a long history of dedication to this organization. We have a generous clinical advisory board, and they give much to us, and then a name, of course, synonymous with Prader-Willi syndrome in this organization. We have our Jana Lee Heineman. All of those folks we are grateful to have. Carolyn and I provide medical support to the organization, and we work different days. I'm typically Tuesday through Friday. Carolyn typically works on Monday, and while our approach and our background is different, I think ultimately our goal is always the same, and that is to help people with medical need. We have a rare genetic syndrome, as we all know, that occurs in approximately every 12 to 15,000 births. Contingent upon what you read, that number can be slightly different. But what we do know is that Prader-Willi syndrome does not discriminate. It affects both genders, it affects all races, and it affects all ethnic groups. And as a result of that, it causes profound disruption to a baby's body and through the life of that baby and a young adult. It continues to cause disruption into their aging years. And we're now beginning to see more folks that are aging, thankfully, because of medical intervention. But the medical challenges for a person with Prader-Willi syndrome is forever. And obviously this affects the families, the parents, the loved ones that love the folks with the syndrome. So the medical conditions that result from this syndrome, it's an understatement to say this, but they are complicated. They are far-reaching. And so as a medical counselor for this organization, you might wonder, how do I do my job? Well, I do that each day with a prayer. And then first and foremost, because most of our contacts are through calls, we do have email, but people that typically are in need of something typically call us. And so first and foremost, it is really critical that I listen to what they have to say to me. The issue may be very, very simple, and it may not be simple. It may be very critical. It may be life-threatening. So then, Lord willing, I make a determination of how I can best help this parent or this family member that has called us. And as a result of that, we try our best to provide folks with as much information as they are calling in about. Sometimes we make suggestions for referrals. Sometimes we arrange for a medical consultation with one of our clinical advisory board members. Many times folks that call in simply are needing to have some emotional support themselves. Families and parents are often exhausted. Many times they do not have the kind of medical support that they're needing. And so we sometimes also make an attempt to teach advocacy so that they know how to advocate for themselves with the medical people that they're dealing with. If we have an emergency room situation, that offers an entirely different element to it because people are in crisis. Sometimes we are literally dealing with a child that could die or an adult that could die if there's not intervention. So providing those folks in ER rooms with information is sometimes critical to even help them diagnose. And obviously we have many medical crises that can happen, including and certainly paramount are gastrointestinal issues. We deal with anesthesia issues. We deal with things related to pre- and post-surgical issues, orthopedic, and certainly psychiatric. We also make every attempt to work with anybody in professional community that calls into us that needs information on Prader-Willi syndrome. How can we help them to help others? And sometimes that is really a critical component to what we do as well. Donnie, next slide, please. I just want to share with you, if I could, some medical crisis data, and this is accurate numbers. In 2015, we fielded 553 medical calls or contacts. That's a lot. And I personally sent out 570 medical documents. None of that those were all free to people, and they were people in need or professionals in need of information about the syndrome or somebody in crisis. Just in 2016, year to date, thus far, we have had 139 medical contacts and have sent out 307 medical documents. And so, Donnie, next slide, please. If we could just take a look, just briefly, these are actual types of calls that have come in to us in this year alone. And once again, if we start with gastrointestinal, all of the things that you're reading across your computer now, gastroparesis being paramount, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, regurgitation, on and on. All of these things we hear and have calls from parents about. Surgery, anesthesia issues, orthopedic, and I hope if you have a chance you will go to our website and read about our new Shriners Hospitals for Children and our PWSA partnership. We're proud of that, so if you don't know about that, please take a look. It's interesting and good stuff for us. From emergency rooms, the following types of calls have come in. We have, Donnie, next slide, please. Psychiatric issues, they're sometimes paramount, and they're pretty scary sometimes for folks dealing with a child in a psychiatric crisis or an adult in a psychiatric crisis. We have many calls, of course, regarding growth hormone. And then the request for information paragraph that you see there, those are literal issues that folks have called in about just the first quarter of this year. And so there again, we have numerous requests from professionals, and literally, once again, these are folks that have called the first quarter of this year looking for information on Prader Willi syndrome or how to best serve the folks that they are making an effort to serve. So once again, I say to you, as Evan did, thank you so much for participating with us, and we really appreciate everything that you do. And now I'm going to introduce to you my colleague, Carolyn Locher, and she's going to share with you the next component of this webinar. Thank you again.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to this presentation. I'm overwhelmingly excited that I get to explain a portion of the impact which PWSA USA has made for our families and especially for our individuals with Prader Willi syndrome as it relates to their medical needs. It is because of our parents, caregivers, providers, including doctors and therapists, and the sharing of their stories with us that we have been able to unlock some of the mysteries of Prader Willi syndrome for future generations to come. Looking back 20 years ago, PWSA USA was instrumental in getting growth hormone approved through the FDA. Now, 20 years later, growth hormone has made a major impact for our individuals with PWS and is considered a standard of care. There have been major advancements in the treatment of scoliosis. 20 years ago, all they knew was to brace their kids. Now, because of advancements in our medical field and our doctors specializing in PWS, a new procedure has emerged with the magic rod. This enables the children to have the rods expanded with magnets, saving the children multiple surgeries. The staff at PWSA USA have been able to report on this and spread the word. Therapeutic interventions and our knowledge have increased substantially due to therapists working with us, many of them moms of kids with PWS, that have developed our therapeutic booklets. Central adrenal insufficiency have come to surface, and in the face of an emergency or surgery crisis, we are able to tell professionals to check for central adrenal insufficiency and how to treat. Pulmonary embolisms and deep venous thrombosis have recently been unveiled due to Dr. Jim and I coordinating the Study of Death program. Our grieving parents have shared medical records and autopsies with us, and it was through careful examining of these records that we found that pulmonary embolisms were more common than we ever imagined. We are currently doing a statistical review from over 1,000 surveys filled out by parents, and we will be reporting on the results soon, along with a consensus from our clinical advisory board as to the best prevention technique. Gastrointestinal issues are another component of the medical complications affecting our individuals. It is through the story shared, examination of medical records and autopsies, that we have developed an emergency room GI chart and revised the medical alert booklet. And this chart is in the back of the booklet. Also published many GI articles informing our families and professionals. Next slide, Donnie. PWSA continues to update the medical portion of our website. We will continue to be there for medical crises and family support. PWSA will continue to examine the medical records and keep you apprised of our findings. I just had, and as well as the study of death and bereavement programs, I just had the opportunity a week and a half ago to be with Jana Lee in Tampa at the PWSA USA Medical Information booth. It was a meeting of the medical geneticists. Over 2,000 medical geneticist counselors were able to hear a symposium that lasted 2.5 hours on Prader Willi syndrome. As well as receiving information from us, we gave out hundreds of medical alert booklets. We gave out flash drives with a lot of the important information that they need about Prader Willi syndrome. There are costs associated with this. We picked 2 medical conferences a year, so that would include the travel, hotel expenses, and shipping of our materials to that specific medical conference. What was such an eye-opener for me was a lot of medical geneticists and a lot of the medical counselors came up to Jan Lee and I and said they did not know of any other rare disease organization that did as much as we did, and they thanked us for it. And I just want to thank the scientific and clinical advisory boards, these are all doctors and specialists, for their ongoing help with us to produce this material. And I also want to say to you that PWSA USA's work can only continue with support from you. Thank you very much. And I would like to present Diane and Lori, who are from our Parent Support Program. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was very informational. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. It's an awesome opportunity to talk about our organization and all that we do. When a parent is referred to PWSA USA, they're contacted as quickly as possible, of course, by myself or by my colleague, Lori. We're often the first people that they talk to outside of doctors and family. We share their experience. We've been through that, and we can apply our experiences to comfort and nourish them throughout this journey. We offer, of course, the package of hope that we send by mail free of charge to every new family. This is an up-to-date and accurate information booklet that has been going out for years and years. It is continuing to be improved. Inside there, you'll find information about nutrition, growth hormones, physical therapy, information for grandparents, and so much more. The medical booklet that Carolyn mentioned earlier is paramount in what we send out to our families. It is often the most used information. We often send 2 copies of that in every package out to our families. We also send a personalized professional package out to each pediatrician or endocrinologist with the parent's permission, of course, depending on what they request. All of these materials are free to the physician and to the pediatrician as well. As you know, caring for a child with Prader Willi syndrome is a little bit more complex than your typical child. We also give every parent a sponsored membership to PWSA USA, and the benefits of that membership is an awesome opportunity for them to go to conferences, to read our publications with discounts on most of our products. They also receive a subscription for our Gathered View, which is a great newsletter that comes out bi-monthly. That newsletter has been coming out for quite some time. We have family stories in there and research reports. And as a new parent or a parent as a child newly diagnosed with PWS, they're eligible for our parent mentoring program. This provides them the opportunity to connect with a personal parent mentor. Our parent mentors are our veterans who, as parents themselves, they know firsthand what the parent's strongest ally is having other parents on their side. We give out information and support as needed as the child grows throughout their lifetime. I'm going to turn it over to Lori. Next slide, Donnie.
Hello, this is Lori. Thank you for all of you for coming today and for listening to our program. And I just want to reiterate some of what Diane had said. Every new parent that comes in to our system, whether they're referred by a physician, whether they come in through our new diagnosis form on our website, whether they pick up the phone and call, they are all given that full suite of materials and time that Diane just went over with you. One of our goals is to kind of make sure that our new parents each feel like they are the only ones that we're serving. We want them to know that everything we have really is available to them regardless of, we don't want them to ever feel like there's a financial constraint or that, their access to our services or our materials are limited by the number of parents that we serve. And as you can see, there's a couple of quotes here on this page, and you can see that we are making an impact on the lives of parents and grandparents and even the medical community through this program, and it's such an honor to be a part of it. If you look at the bar graph here, though, you can see that last year, 2015, we served about 174 families. And if you do the math on that, you will know that that is a new family coming into our system just about every other day throughout the year of 2015. And every one of those families was given that full suite of information that Diane just went over, and free of charge, completely free of charge to them. And based on the numbers, you can see the little bar graph of 2016 goes way to the end, and it doesn't really stop. And it stops because you hit the 200 line, but based on the numbers for the first 3 months of 2016, we are poised to far exceed that 174 number. As a matter of fact, I'm estimating that we're going to exceed that 200 number. And that's where our wonderful programs like On the Move and eWalk come in, and the energy of folks like you, because as those needs increase, our need for resources to share with these parents increases also. So, and Donnie, I could have you flip to the next slide. As Diane mentioned a few seconds ago, or a few minutes ago, the kind of the centerpiece of our new parent support program is our new parent mentoring program. And that is a unique program in the rare disease community. And each parent of a newly diagnosed child is, as they come into our system, that is one of the things that they are offered right away, is a parent mentor. We have a group of moms and a few dads now, which is a wonderful thing to see. But we have a group of moms who each have a child with Prader Willi syndrome, who have taken some training, who have ongoing training and support opportunities through our parent mentoring program. And these parents have been so generous to give of their time, to give of their experiences, their compassion, all of that, to walk alongside our new parents and guide them and encourage them in this journey. Maybe not doing things for them, but kind of helping empower them to do things for themselves so that they can settle into their role as the parent of a child with Prader-Willi syndrome, and then our parent mentors stay with these families as their child grows and roles change and phases change and needs change, but our new parent mentors stay with our parents through time, and it forms a sometimes lifelong bond between these families, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And something else that we offer to our new parents is internet support. Now, most of you probably remember the old Yahoo groups. We had 0 to 5 and 6 to 12, and when those groups were opened, they were cutting-edge technology. You could put out a question on one of those groups, and in 3 or 4 days, you would get an answer. You might get an answer from 10 or 15 other parents in 3 or 4 days, and that was like a miracle. And as technology is known to do, new tech quickly becomes old tech. And as our new parents stepped in, and these are our new parents who are technologically very savvy, and they're used to instant communication. They're used to texting. They're used to Facebook. And they said to us old-timers, can't you make this move any faster? Can't we get answers to our questions more quickly? Can't we have a venue where we can share pictures, where we can share documents? And Facebook said, I'm here. And so we graduated, we closed the Yahoo Facebook groups and moved everyone over as we could to the new age-specific Facebook groups. And we have the Birth to 3 Facebook group is obviously for our infants and toddlers. That is an invitation-only group. Everyone who is on Birth to 3 is connected with our parent mentoring program, has a personal mentor, and on that group are our families, also all of our mentoring staff, and our medical support liaison, Carolyn Locher, is there, Diane and myself. Ken Smith, our ED, is also a member there, so if you have any questions about anything, it's a wonderful place for our new parents to get questions answered, but it's also been a wonderful place for our new parents to support one another in a safe environment, and to watch the friendships and bonds form between those new parents has just been absolutely wonderful. And then we move up to the 3 to 5 Facebook group, and that group is a little more quiet. Most of the children in that age group are kind of in that honeymoon period where things are going fairly well. And so that group tends to be a group where we share more information, and there's still some interaction, some camaraderie goes on there, but it's a little quieter. And most of the people in that group were members of the Birth to 5 Yahoo group. Then we move up to the 6 to 12 group, and that group is active again. That is an age group where parents are dealing with school issues, they're dealing with maybe some weight or some dietary concerns and questions, and they're reaching out to our new parent support staff, our medical counselors, and supporting one another also. And all of these groups are closed groups, by the way. Nothing can be seen outside of the group by non-members. The only ones that can see the posts are actual members of those groups. They are as safe and as secure as Facebook will allow. And also, right now, we have just opened a group for grandparents, and that has been another blessing, oh my goodness, to watch those grandparents, because the needs of a grandparent of a child with PWS are often very different than being a grandparent to a typical child. And it's wonderful to see our new grandparents support one another and share pictures and pray for one another, and it's been a blessing to everyone. And so coming soon, we have a group opening in just a few weeks for our dads of children with Prader-Willi syndrome. As we all know, dads tend to deal with the issues of special needs differently than moms do, and we find that our dads sometimes would just really love another dad to talk to. And so we're hoping that this group, as it opens, kind of supplies some of that need. And now I will
turn you back over to Diane with some more things to share.
Thank you, Lori. We do have something on the horizon with our new webinar series. Along with this webinar, Lori and I intend to do quite a few more. We had our first one, which was quite successful. Our webinar series is designed to provide our parent mentors with guidelines of what the scope of their role is in parent mentoring. When it may be appropriate to transition them to our family support or our medical counselors when needed. We want to be sure that we are using all of our resources through PWSA USA, from Lori and I through the parent mentors, and that down through to our family support and crisis counselors. I think that most of our parent mentors, one of their main concerns is just how much they can give guidance to our families, and I think that we want to make sure that they feel comfortable in what they're doing, and it is a huge commitment of their time and volunteering to help our families. But as we are parents of children with Prader Willi syndrome know, we learn the new terminology and we walk the walk, and we all make this commonality between all of us. Through our sorrow, we do find relief in the community, and that is one of the things I think that has been wonderful through PWSA USA is the feeling of community that we receive. Many of our new parents often tell us that they're blown away by the welcoming manner in which that they're brought under the wing of all of our veteran families. Also coming on the horizon is our workshop and retreat for our parent mentors and our newly diagnosed families. We want to be sure that we can nurture and grow these relationships between our families and our parent mentors. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to know each other outside of Facebook and build friendships and watch our children grow together. We want to make sure that we are able to educate them. As I said earlier, we're all learning a new terminology with this PWS journey, one that we didn't wish to become part of, but we are, in no uncertain terms, forced to move on and pull our boots up, as they say, by the straps and keep going. So I want to say thank you to Lori and move it on back to Donnie.
Thank you all very much for taking the time to explain what we do to support our community. So now that we've talked about all the amazing services and programs that PWSA USA offers, let's all get excited. We're now going to explain how you can make a difference and get involved. By hosting an on-the-move event or fundraising for our virtual walk, eWalk, you can really help PWSA USA continue to provide these vital services to our community. With that being said, here's Leanne to discuss On the Move.
Thanks, Donnie. So as Donnie mentioned earlier, I'm the development specialist here at PWSA. I work with both chapters and individuals wanting to fundraise through an On the Move event. So what is On the Move? On the Move is PWSA's national fundraising and awareness campaign. Through On the Move, we aim to raise funds to support our very important programs and services, increase awareness in our communities throughout the nation, improve the health and well-being of those with PWS through physical activity, and to grow the support for the PWS community as a whole. An On the Move event can take place any time of the year. It could be anything from a walk, which is our most popular event, to bowling and golf tournaments. And we've even had very successful events such as dress down days, where all the kids at school wore their favorite sports uniform. So we're really able to customize an event to just about anything you can think of. It's really about what works best for you and your local community. So let's say you decide you want to host an event in your community. All you need to do is fill out this simple form here on the PWSA USA website. You can see the link there at the top of your screen. This gets sent directly to me, and from there I'll contact you, and together we can kind of go through your thoughts and ideas and come up with an event that will work best. It's really as simple as that to get started. You don't have to have all the details figured out. We can just help you throughout the entire process. So now that you have your event in the books, you've picked the type of event, the date, the location. We'll go ahead and add your event to our website. You can see here some of the on-the-move events we already have down for 2016. These are all listed under the Events tab on our website, and you can click on the events to learn more, to register, donate, or to fundraise. So next I'm going to talk about our First Giving pages. First Giving is our online donation platform that we use, and the way it works is we set up a main page for your event. It'll look something like what you see on the screen here. We will customize it with your event details and pictures. You can also plug in your fundraising goal for the event, which will update on a thermometer in real time. You can see that over there on the right in the red. At the bottom of the page, you can see your top fundraisers and the amount that they've raised. So this is the main event page that we will create for you once you register. So from this page, you can collect general donations. You can allow people to register for the event. And most importantly, you can event participants to create their personalized fundraising pages. And this is the most important feature of First Giving since it helps bring in the most funds, which is what we like. So here you see an example of an individual's fundraising page, and this is an actual fundraiser that we have for the Florida chapter. And as you can see, you can customize the page with your own story or link to PWS. You can add photos, fundraising goals, and all kinds of stuff. It only takes about 5 minutes to create. Once an individual has created their page, they'll be able to send out a link to their network of family, friends, and coworkers. And you can do this through email and social media. Then all that has to be done is click on that link and you can begin collecting donations. This eliminates the need for you to collect cash or checks, although you're still more than welcome to do so. And it reaches your event out way further than just your immediate community. This is what can turn a small event into a very successful event. For example, say you're hosting an event and you decide to invite Joe. Instead of collecting a donation from just Joe, now through First Giving, Joe will create his own personalized page and share it with all of his friends and family, resulting in donations from a whole new set of individuals that you wouldn't have connected to otherwise. So that's when the funds really start adding up. Okay, so that's the basics of the on-the-move fundraising platform. We also offer prizes for your event. These prizes are to be used as fundraising incentives. Offering prizes is a great way to reward your top fundraisers and to also encourage them to go the extra mile for you. You can offer all of the prizes or just a few of them. It's completely up to you. And the cost of the prizes comes out of your gross income for the event, so you don't have to purchase anything ahead of time with your own funds. The t-shirts that you see can be completely customized with sponsor logos on the back once your event has reached minimum sponsorship levels. So as mentioned earlier, we're here to help you throughout the entire process. We are able to customize and create any kind of promotional materials that you might need, such as flyers, postcards, brochures, posters, anything you need. We also have a great event manual as well as a walk manual filled with ideas and steps to success. And these are made available to you once you register your event. We have just about any kind of form or letter you might need, all, again, completely customized for your specific event. We know that hosting a fundraiser takes time and effort, so we are here to make the process as easy and fluid as possible. And Donnie and myself are committed to your event and will work with you to make sure you have everything you need to be successful.
Thank you, Leanne, for that. I would like to quickly go over our virtual walk, eWalk. It's super easy and a simple way to raise funds with little effort, especially if you don't really have time to plan an event if you're busy with work or school with your kids. So eWalk is an online fundraiser, so anyone from anywhere can participate. You receive donations online from people by them donating directly to your personalized eWalk fundraising page, which I'll talk about a little bit later. This will be our second year with eWalk. Our first year went really well. We had over 116 fundraisers in 2015. The best way that, the great way that with eWalk is you're able to spread your word about your page through the power of the internet. What that is that you see here that there are multiple ways of social media outlets for you to use, such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google+, for just some of them, as well as you could also email your personalized fundraising page to your family, friends, and coworkers as well. From last year, here are two quotes from families that did eWalk. One is from the Barons. While we bounce from doctor's appointments to doctor's appointments and specialist to specialist, it's even more of a push to help in whatever way we can to fund research and support other families. eWalk has been a great way for us to do just that. eWalk also became a great way for us to include family and friends who have been searching for a way to help. We are so grateful for our PWS community and the love and support our family and friends continue to pour over us. Another one was from Emily. I registered for eWalk simply because it's simple. We live in an area where there are not many Prader Willi events unless we drive for 2 or more hours, and many of my friends and family are even further away. eWalk is a great way for everyone to participate no matter the distance. So here's an example of what your individual fundraiser page will look like. Each individual eWalk page is fully customizable and unique with your own URL, which is your website link. You can customize your page with photos. You can upload multiple photos. You can include your story about your loved one with Prader Willi syndrome, as well as you can even upload a video to your page that people will be able to view when they click on. When someone goes to your page, this is what they would see. As donations come in, you will see a red progress bar that will show right under the donate button that will keep on increasing as you get closer to your overall fundraising goal. People can also help you share your page to reach more people by liking your page above the donate button, as well as also when you start to share your page on social media, like with Facebook or Twitter, you can retweet it, people can share it and like it. And that's really how the word is going to spread and reach people like never before. When someone donates to your page, they will appear in the bottom of your page under the donor section. And they'll have the chance to leave a message that they can include that will show there as well. Now, if someone that wants to donate to your page, if they do not want to show up, they can simply just put anonymous as well. To register for eWalk, the best thing to do is to go to the link that's provided above, firstgiving.com/PWSA/USA/2016-eWalk. You just can simply click on the fundraising button that you see below. eWalk will officially start April 1st. This is your dashboard for eWalk. I boxed out the person's name for this, but this is a great example of what your dashboard is going to look like. So as you can see on the left hand of your screen, you'll be able to manage your page from here, from editing your story to uploading photos and videos. You can change your goal. So what we have last year, we had a lot of people exceed their goals. So what they did was go in there and change the goal and increase it over time. You can also customize your thank you messages so you don't have to worry about sending out emails manually. You can also send your page out to friends via email through this, where you can just simply do an upload of your email contacts, and you can also send out your page via Facebook and manage your contacts that have donated. There's also a simply post your page that you see below that. And then you can have the option if you want to donate to your own page. You'll also have a full dashboard of, you will be able to see who's donated and how much. And also if someone does not want to enter a online donation, and if they have a check for you, we would just ask for you to please have that made out to PWSA USA, and you can enter in the offline donation there, and you can choose if you want to have them to be anonymous or if you want to put their name in as well. So like Leanne was saying, no matter what you choose to do, whether if it's on the move or eWalk, we are 100% here for you every step of the way. You will have your own personal team member that's dedicated to your fundraising success. We're here for you night and day. You can contact Leanne or myself by phone or email. And then also one great thing that we're going to be doing this year is we're going to be doing more in-depth webinars on the move and eWalk separately. We feel that this was going to be increasingly good for your success on your events. It's going to be more tailored to specific events like walks, 5Ks, bowling, as well as best tips of how to get sponsors and people to sign up for your event, as well as for eWalk, best tips of emails and social media blasts and things of that nature. So we are 100% behind you and here for you for throughout every step of the way. So all of us who have been on this webinar and all of us at Prader Willi Syndrome Association, we would like to thank you all for attending this webinar. We hope you enjoyed the information that was presented to you. If you would like to register for eWalk, you can go now to that link that is provided in this slide. As well, if you wanted to register for your very own On the Move event, please go to that link as well. Let me see what we have for questions. Now, I see one question was, where does eWalk start? When does eWalk start? Like I said, eWalk begins April 1st, but you can also register now and begin fundraising. This is not something that you have to wait for April 1st. It's just we're doing a kickoff on April 1st for people if they so choose to wait. The other question is, where do the funds raised go to from On the Move? Leanne, would you like to?
Sure. So the funds raised from our On the Move events go towards all these wonderful programs and services that were discussed today. They go directly to the programs and services, and that's how we're able to provide such great service to our community. So the funds raised are really important.
All right, and another question is, will we be providing a copy of the presentation after the webinar? Yes, you will. All of you that have been on this webinar will receive a recorded link. Also, we will be having a recording video on our social media platforms as well as our website. Let's see. Another question is for Leanne. If someone wanted to host an On the Move event, what would they need to make the event successful?
So that's a great question. We have, like I mentioned earlier, the manual that will kind of help someone hosting an event go through all of the different things to think about, but also I am here and available 100% of the time for you. So as we go through, we'll make sure that, you know, we're kind of checking off all the boxes, that you have everything you need. Each event is going to be different, so it's hard to give an exact answer of what you will need to be successful, but we can figure that out together. And
okay, thank you, Ann. I think that is it for questioning. There are some questions that came in regarding medical, parent support, and as well as family support. And we will not be asking that today, but I will get in contact with the people that have been on the webinar to discuss further. If you have any questions, please contact Leanne or myself, Donnie, at 941-312-0400. We'll be here. We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can also email us at the emails provided earlier in the webinar that you can see in the recording. Thank you very much all for being involved in this webinar, and we hope you all have a wonderful day.
Keep the 800 number up.